Hello, happy Tuesday, work wifeys. And you, work wife.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here for another episode of Dear Work Wives. So we can make more cultures suck less, ideally. Not suck at all would be the dream, but let's start with sucking less.
Less is, I like attainable goals.
Right. Smart goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Attainable is the key,
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's just like, feels really defeating.
100%. 100%. How was your
Because
weekend?
we're recording this on Monday.
I
Normally we
know.
record on Wednesdays, and it feels different.
It does feel different. But, we're doing what we got to do. We're busy girls. We're like women in the arts, women in STEM.
Women in STEM.
Women in
Momming,
non-corporate,
women in the working world. Yeah.
So like we have to be flexible. So here we are recording on a Monday because there's a lot going on at our cousin York. Ours, you own it, but I claim part of it. Run like clockwork.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on over there. So, we just have to be agile right now.
Cousin company. Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, weekend was good.
Yeah.
I did a mom's weekend.
Nice.
With some local friends, which was nice.
Exciting.
Back to reality now though.
Womp womp. Yeah.
You always pay for it with the return. Especially daylight savings. It really is not going well over here. So
I'm sorry to hear that. It's a joy over here. We all just got an extra hour of sleep. It was great.
Oh.
Like it didn't impact us at all.
Oh, that's good.
Because Sunday, like Saturday night, the kids stayed up later than normal, so they just slept until a normal time, and then they went to bed. And then Monday they have to get up early for school anyway, so it's like it doesn't really impact us now that they're older,
Yeah, mine woke up at like 5:30 both days. So,
R.I.P. your beauty sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But, I'm here to tell you.
Though. I knew it was going to happen because Kit's already been waking up early.
She's already an early girl. Yeah.
She's just going to wake up earlier.
Yeah. Well, I'm here to tell you it can improve as they get older.
This is great news.
Yeah. It's literally just like either like you stay up a little bit later and do a little bit more family time and then they wake up at a normal time, or they get up if they're old enough that they can go, like my kids get up and do their thing,
Do their thing. Yeah.
They come down and watch a little show and get, and then we can leisurely wake up. It's glorious.
Right.
Don't Not like I'm sleeping in, all morning. I just don't have to jump out of bed the second they get up.
Yeah.
And read a few chapters. Yeah.
Wow.
Finished a book, my 54th book of the year.
That's so many.
I know. I'm really proud of myself. My goal is 40. And I've read 54.
Whoa.
Yeah. Some of them are like really light and fluffy, like rom-com, but I don't really care. I enjoy it. So
that's way more than a book a week at this point.
Yeah. Some of the, like I said, some of the books are really like 350 pages. So they're easy reads, but then I have read a lot of like hefty, like Harry Potter size books. So
yeah, that's great.
No, it's been good.
Did you have a good weekend? I know you went to the Americas.
I did. I crossed the border and I went shopping in the great state of Michigan. Let me tell you, it is a crime how much stuff you have that we don't have. That's just like everyday groceries. So we went, just across the border is Port Huron, Michigan. And there's like Target, a Five Below, Myers, like the usual suspects in Ulta. Spent 3.5 hours in Target, as you do, because we had to wander every single aisle.
Right, you have to see it all.
Yeah, and the Christmas stuff is out too. So we really spent a lot of time in the Christmas aisle, just like really investigating. My one friend, she almost bought a Stanley, but I talked her out of it because I'm like, you do not need another insulated water bottle, especially one that when you convert it to Canadian is like $70.
Yeah, no.
You don't need it. I know you want it, but you don't need it. So I talked her out of it. She was mad at me, but I was right,
Yeah.
But like it's the grocery items that get me. So I bought like Dots pretzels, of course. We don't have Dots pretzels. The Chobani Flip yogurts. So good. It's a crime that we don't have those. Just like, like your Sweet Baby Ray's bar, like you have like 50 flavors. We have just original barbecue,
Yeah.
So we just get all these like fun things. Like you have more cereals than we do, more pot flavors than we do. Like we don't get the Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream.
Right.
I didn't buy any.
Right.
But still, like
Okay.
all these things, like we don't get these things. So we have to stock up.
See, a lot of times I don't even know about these things just because I take them for granted that I
Right.
just have access to them. Like, I don't even know about Dr. Pepper strawberries and cream. I mean, sounds
You had one at your house and I
fine.
was there.
Oh, I did. Maybe Tyler. Well, obviously, Tyler bought them, but
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even remember. See, I obviously take them so much for
We
granted that I
split it.
forgot they existed.
Right.
Yeah.
Like cherry vanilla Coke. We don't have that in a can here. You can get it at the fountain sometimes, but yeah, no, it's just like things like that. So we really enjoyed. We took our time. We meandered. I went to Panera for the first time and had lunch.
Oh,
It was good. I enjoyed it.
yeah. They have some
It
good
was
options.
yeah,
Soup
I
and
had a
salad type of place, soup and
exactly.
sandwich.
I had a delicious Cobb salad and broccoli
I
mac
have
and
one
cheese.
very close to here, and I never go there. But
I think it's like huge on TikTok. Panera is huge on TikTok. So I needed to
really,
try it because there was no Raising Cane's or Wingstop nearby. So I was like, what are the other TikTok places that we don't have,
yeah.
Like we have McDonald's, we have all these things. Like what do we not have? That's always our
What is
goal.
so big about Panera on TikTok? Like, what
Their
are
broccoli
we?
cheese soup has like a cult following.
Okay.
So yeah, it was good. It was enjoyable. It was a great day. But the
I'm glad.
border security on the way back,
Oh yeah. How did they like your purchases?
he was very tempted to charge us duty. And he would have been well within his right to charge. Like if you go under 24 hours, you have no exemptions. Like they have the ability to charge you for everything that you buy, and like there's nothing we can do about it, like, and it's like it's a risk that you take that they might charge you, so you have to be mindful when you're shopping, like, because the exchange is terrible. It was
Yeah.
$1.37 when we went, so basically everything costs 40 cents more per dollar,
Yeah. Per dollar.
40% more essentially. And then
Yikes.
theoretically we knew we could get charged tax at the border, and he really thought about if he wanted, like, we sat there for a few minutes and he's like, so what did you all buy? And we're like, groceries, kids' clothes, like, and he really thought about it and he rolled his eyes and was like, fine, and just sent us through. And this is the Canadian guy. The US guy coming in was like, have fun, girls, like, this place is up here. Like, so many Canadians cross the border to shop in the States. So,
Right.
but I understand the theory. Like, our money, we should be keeping our money in our economy. I get that. But like, it's not my fault that the US gets so much better snacks than us.
Right. Like, it's not my fault. The Sweet Baby James barbecue sauce only comes in one flavor at my store.
Or like Target Dollar Spot doesn't exist in Canada. Like, you know what I mean?
Rude.
So it is what it is,
Yeah.
my friends. But we didn't get
Yeah.
charged tax, so it was a win.
Okay.
So yeah, all in. And then
I like it.
yesterday, James and I organized our basement.
Oh, that's a big undertaking. It sounds like.
It was really. It has been.
Do you have a finished basement?
Okay, so I have a back. What do I have? A back split house. So I have 4 levels, but only half sets of stairs.
Okay.
So like if you come in my front door, main floor, kitchen, living room, you go up a half flight of stairs to a bathroom and the bedrooms. You go down a half flight of stairs to like our TV room, rec room, where I'm sitting right now. And then you can go down another like 4 steps, and that's like where our laundry and our unfinished part is.
Okay.
So it's like mostly storage and a little bit
Storage.
kids, like really messy, like craft stuff is down there. But it gets really unorganized so easily because it has no purpose. So, like rooms that have no purpose just become a dumping ground.
Yeah.
So
like, this can go here because it has nowhere else to live.
It has nowhere else to go. It's essentially our storage, right? So
yeah.
Like our, yesterday I put away all of Lila's Barbies and dolls because she's outgrown playing with them. So it's like now I have 2 totes of Barbies and dolls that I'm going to have to put somewhere. So they go down there, it's that kind of space. So, but it's so easy for it to become a disaster because like our suitcases are in there. It's like, where does this go? It just goes in this room. So, but now it's organized and it's open space, and we have a spare like kitchen table from before we did our renovation. We're going to set it up so the kids can play games and craft and stuff down there. And it can be like a functional space, but it's not pretty.
Right. It's
Yeah.
just
It's like,
functional for the
it's
family.
literally like, because it's half underground, it's like concrete and then insulation. You know what I mean? And like exposed
Yeah.
beams.
Yeah.
So
Like we're not entertaining down there, but
no.
yeah.
So that room we organized though, because
Yeah.
every time because I have to, our laundry's down there, and every time I walked in there, I had like an anxiety attack. I've been on an organization kick. Like I did my office desk, I did my bathroom vanity, I did some of the kids' toys, and now I did that. That room has been weighing on me, so
That's
it's
good.
done. And now I need to do the
I need to
garage.
do I need to do my office because I need to put my Christmas tree up.
I literally just told a friend that I want to get a pink Christmas tree for like right here. I'm gonna do it.
I'm hoping it brings me some joy.
It will.
So I'm like, I gotta clean up. I have like just stuff in my office that I need
Yeah.
to like, it didn't have a place.
Yeah.
So the corner became a dumping ground. I'm like
Mhm.
looking at the corner right now.
Yeah.
But that's where my tree goes. So now I'm motivated to move all the stuff that has been there for like 6 months without a home
Mhm.
into a
It's
home so
home.
that my tree can go there.
Yeah. So
I don't know where it's going to go yet, but it's not going there. So
it'll find a
you
home.
know?
Or what generally happens, it finds the garbage in my case.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, and we put our outdoor Christmas lights up too. So, you know, it was just a very productive, we got a lot done. I feel very good. And then I cooked a roast chicken for dinner. Like heading into this week, I feel like, yes, that's what weekend should be.
A domestic goddess.
Literally. It was incredible.
Yeah.
I feel so satisfied, you know?
Yeah, I'm glad.
Yeah. Anyway. Okay.
Do you want to talk about corporate math?
Let's talk corporate math. I'm ready.
Okay, so we know like girl math,
Yes.
right? Does everybody know girl math or shall we explain?
I think let's give an example of girl math for the odd listener who maybe has not come across this, but
Okay, you give an example of girl math.
okay, so
Like,
girl math is if I book and pay for a Disney trip now, by the time I go, the trip is free. So I can spend whatever I want because the trip was free.
yeah. Or like I buy something for $100.
Yeah.
And then I return the thing.
Right.
Now I have $100.
100 free dollars that have no
I basically
allocation.
I gained $100.
You gained $100. Another one is if you load money on your Starbucks app, your Starbucks is now free.
Yeah.
When you actually get the drink is free.
It's free.
Because it's like, it's a gift card, which means it's free.
Right. It's a gift card, even though it's linked.
It doesn't matter that I'm the one who I put the money on there. Like a different person put the money on there, like Emily of the past. It's not Emily of the current.
Yep.
I'm not paying for this. That's girl math.
Yes. So those are examples of girl math.
And we know that it's not real math. We get that.
We get it.
Don't come for us in the comments.
But it still feels that way, and we all do it. Like, so.
Yeah.
Corporate math is similar in that the math doesn't really math, but
but it makes perfect sense.
To the corporations, it makes perfect sense.
Right. Yeah.
So, like an example, corporate math is cutting bonuses and announcing layoffs while simultaneously boasting record profits.
I can't talk about that one. It's infuriating.
Yeah.
Or not even being able to, is not even like, obviously cutting bonuses and layoffs is like the extreme example, but like not being able to give cost of living raises while also claiming record profits, hint hint James's company, is like infuriating. It's like, what do you mean you're making record profits? I know why you're making record profits, because you told all of your employees to go out there and raise their prices with their customers, but then you're not like putting that back into the cost of employing people. You're just keeping it.
Right.
That's where your profits came from. My husband getting yelled at all the time.
I'll do one from my personal experience. Corporate math is cutting all like travel budgets.
Yes.
And then the leadership team going on like an all expenses retreat where they went horseback riding.
Yeah.
Insanity. I'm like, wait, but I can't take my client to a business lunch that I need to take him to so that I can earn his business.
Yeah.
But you're horseback riding
on the beaches in Mexico.
In Mexico. Okay.
Yeah. That makes sense. Cool. I have another example I just thought of. Corporate math is oh no, where did it go? Corporate math is if you don't like forcing people to take their vacation because you refuse to pay it out at the end of the year. Like you've earned, and especially in Canada, like you earn that money. In Canada, like it's 4% of your pay is your vacation. You're accruing that money. So like forcing people to take time off versus paying out the vacation money that they've earned.
Rude.
Yeah. Tyler had another one. Corporate math is giving on the flip side, giving financial bonuses instead of letting people take an extra week vacation. So it's like the flip side. Yeah.
Refusing more vacation time.
Yeah.
Let's see. Corporate math is having the word trust as one of their values, but then making everyone go back to work in the office because they don't think they're working from home.
100%. Or what's worse, having keyboard trackers on their computers.
Oh yeah, like just stalking every move they make.
Yes, yeah. Corporate math is forcing people back into the office for the culture, but it's on a hybrid schedule, which means there's only ever 2 to 3 people in the office at a time.
Yeah.
Or no one.
We still are just on Zoom meetings from different rooms.
Still needing to do Zoom meetings because no one is in at the same time.
So good. Okay. Corporate math is hiring someone and then paying them like way more than the previous person, but then wondering why your other people leave.
Right. Oh my gosh, I have a good one based off that. Corporate math is refusing to give an employee like a really good employee like a sizable raise, even though if they left the company, you'd have to hire 2 people to replace them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
And it happens all the time.
All the time.
Okay, what's another? Let's think. Similar to that, like having people like corporate math is letting people go and then one person has to do like 3 people's roles, but then saying you don't have the money to give that person a raise.
Right.
Even though you just let a bunch of people go and they're now doing 3 people's jobs.
Yes, 100%.
What?
Corporate math is having like someone to the trust one is having like valuing like work-life balance or quality of life in your values, and then expecting people to reply to emails outside of working hours and punishing them if they don't.
Yeah. Okay, corporate math is like not paying your people a living wage, but then expecting like a really high quality of work.
Yeah. Corporate math is paying $15 an hour and then expecting people to be loyal, like to treat their company as if it's your own.
Yeah.
No. I love this. There's so many good examples.
So fun. Well, I think that was a good start for us for today to introduce the topic to people.
Yeah, we'll have to see what ones we can come up with. Like we'll have a running list.
And please
you have a
your
good
corporate
example.
math to us.
Yeah.
Please send us a message on Instagram at Dear Workwives with your corporate math, because we know there's a lot of good ones out there.
So many. This happens all the time, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Just make it make sense, you know?
They can't.
They can't. All right, you want to do some stories?
Let's do it.
Okay. I have this really good one from Reddit.
Okay.
And it's long because it's like a text thread.
Okay.
So I'm going to read it to you. Okay. So it's like, last texts from my toxic ex-boss. He says, can you believe this guy? This whole thing reminds me of my dad going off through text. It was a trash job, and at the end, there wasn't anything to be smiling about. Okay, let me just read the text, okay?
Okay.
So the text says, hey, boss, I noticed you guys took me off social media and all that, and then made a post with everyone tagged except for me. Am I getting fired? I'd appreciate knowing sooner than later. And this is the response from the boss. Hey, blank. What keen observation skills you have. Have you noticed you don't help with social media at all? Have you noticed you never like our posts or comment? Have you noticed that with that keen eyesight that you don't go on go-go stage as I have requested? I assume that's like a tool they use.
Right.
Do you notice how you never smile? Do you notice how you never talk to anyone or bring up conversation? Do you notice how you don't reply to my messages or something? You decide as of now, I have no faith in your ability to be a team player, smile, talk, wear proper makeup and hairstyles, make customers want to come back, make regulars that want to visit you, etc. I still have hope, but it is dwindling fast. I never understand how any one of you people I let into my world that see what I have created and all the potential waste it and not appreciate it. Even this text, you should have called me. Instead, I get a text on a subject that is extremely important. You should call, but I get a half-assed text only worried about yourself, not even asking if you have done something or you could improve. Do what you want at this point. You now have some answers. Talk to others or do whatever. I have little else to give someone that never reciprocates. And then the person said, I'm not reading all of that. My phone's been broken and I explained numerous times. I just got a new one. Thanks for everything. Bye. And the boss said, I accept your resignation. Hope you can read this.
That is wild.
Like, okay.
I need to know what like industry this is. Like, this sounds like I need to know. I don't know why it doesn't matter. Like, obviously this is like wildly inappropriate regardless, but is this like a hair school, a salon? It feels like a salon.
I know something. Okay, let me see. It says it was a trash job and there wasn't anything to be smiling about. So he's got me there. His staff was so unfriendly, literally wouldn't move out of the way when I'd pass by with a tub of glasses. So maybe serving too?
Oh, yeah. Serving for sure. That could same vibes. Yeah.
Yeah. Also, why would I tell them my coworker wasn't coming in? Do I look like a manager? We all quit. I was the last one standing, and then he pulled that little shit. Like, okay, I can even say, like, sounds like this person maybe wasn't meeting expectations. Like, maybe they were doing some things wrong or like not doing things at all, whatever. Yeah. But the level of this text message is extremely toxic.
Oh my gosh.
You know?
It's so
like there's
petty.
so many toxic things from an employer. Like, as a boss, as a leader, I expect way more from someone, even if you think this person is, you know, not doing what you expect of them. Like, you don't
talk to them like that.
You don't talk to people like that. And if they talk to you like that, that's fine. But like, you're the leader, you're the boss. So I expect more of you. And
a remark on people's appearance, the smiling thing. Did this like, based on what you shared, this sounds like a male manager to a female employee.
Yes.
So there's like the power, like there's obviously also the power dynamics in play here too. Like, you just don't like do your hair, wear makeup, like no.
Smile, do your hair.
That is so off color. Like,
also, this person is like, I know, this person is like, the boss is saying like, this is such an important topic. You should have come to me and talk to me about it if it meant that much to you. But like, why didn't you go to this person and tell them that their performance isn't that great?
Where's the feedback?
We're removing you from the team, or we're not putting you on the social media, or like, you're being the child by not proactively telling this person how they could improve or that they're not meeting your expectations.
Right.
Like, the fact that they had to come to you in a text and ask you that, like, it actually says way more about you as their leader than it does about them as 100%. An employee.
100%. Like, this is all feedback that should be communicated regularly between a leader and their team, you know?
Yeah. Instead, you just belittled them in a very toxic
passive-aggressively left them out of a post and then berated them.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
And like acted super condescending. Oh, how
have you
keen, or like,
noticed? Oh,
yeah.
I couldn't. I would not be able to recover from that. I don't sound like
What would you do? What keen observation skills you have. Like,
I
go fuck yourself.
yeah.
Like,
Like, bye. I mean, which sounds like is what happened anyway, but it's just wild to me that anyone would ever consider talking to their team like that.
I know. People in the it was on Reddit that I found that one, and people in the comments were like, you need to text this person back and be like, I'm not quitting. Like, so I'm taking this as you firing me, because in the text it was like, I'll take this as your resignation. Like, no, I'm not resigning. Like, you're firing me and I'm going for unemployment then, you know? Like,
100%. Yeah, definitely,
nope.
Wild.
So no advice needed there, because obviously that boss is just a terrible person. But
yeah, that's so wild. I can't.
All right. Here's the next story. Trying to keep our heads above water. And my boss is asking weekly how we're doing on, wait, did I do this one last week? Side projects.
Yeah.
I feel like we did do that.
We did this
one.
one. Yeah.
Okay. We did that one.
Yeah.
Then next, getting over the feeling of, am I doing this right? This has thrown me in the last 3 jobs to the point that I left. I think it's imposter syndrome. You know how it goes. New job, you're trying your best, things going good, and then the first mistake or criticism comes. Rationally, I know it's to be expected, but it throws me. And then the constant, am I doing this right, starts in my head. And the more you worry, the more it throws you into a negative tailspin. You lose your confidence. This is my 3rd job since March, when I lost a long-term job. I was the person, you want something done right, then you give it to me. I did it better and faster than anyone else. I'm a perfectionist until it comes to the criticism, and then it throws me. I've quit my past 2 jobs over this, and I'm 2 weeks into a new job, and it's starting to happen again after the first bit of criticism.
Did I write this?
I don't think so.
No, I don't think so either. I just want to give this person like a warm hug, because I understand like receiving criticism for some people is just the absolute end of the world. You can logically understand, but still, like, if you feel like you've been doing your best, and like for some people it's really hard to recover from making mistakes. So I completely empathize with that person. This is me. I feel like I've gotten a little bit better at it, but still some mistakes like really send me into a tailspin. I don't really know. I just want to give this person a hug and be like, it's okay. But, I think I've given this type of advice in the past, where like going into the tailspin actually creates more damage than the mistake did often. So like, it's okay to like want to do better, but also you have to give yourself the grace to like be a human and know you're going to make a mistake, and it's not the end of the world. And it's okay to be like, oh, I'm so disappointed in myself for making that mistake, and have your little minute and then move through it. What did you coached me through something like this in the past? What was it? It was like a sports
as an athlete.
As an athlete. Yeah.
You get like 24 hours to be upset about the loss, and then you move forward. Like, you don't think about it again.
Yeah.
Like,
and I think you told me that
for one day.
Yeah. Cause we had done a launch that like just didn't go as amazingly as we wanted to. And I was like really struggling with like, oh, we didn't hit the goal that we wanted. And I was stuck in it. I was like, I just couldn't pull myself out of that that like disappointing. I was so disappointed in myself. And that's when you said like, you get 24 hours and like, feel it all. But then, even if you're still feeling it, like you cannot express it. Not in a bad, I know that sounds toxic. Yeah.
Yeah, no woe is me. Like,
no,
we're moving on now.
Wet blanket in the team meetings. It's like, okay, everyone had their moments and we get it and we're done, onwards and upwards from here.
Yeah. I think also just a reminder to this person that like, when you're new at a role, and it sounds like you've been new at 3 different roles because you quit the other 2 because of the, criticism that you got in your head about, like, you're on the bottom of an S curve, right? When we talk about S curves, Whitney Johnson's work, your competency is going to be low. Like, you're meant to be in this really challenging learning phase, right? And for some people that can feel really exciting, and for other people that can feel potentially overwhelming and like the imposter syndrome, or like you just want to be the best. And so it's like a really hard place to be. I know that's true for me. Like, I struggle a lot at the, bottom part of a learning curve, because I don't even want to show up to do things if I know I'm not going to win, like that's just the attitude in my head, which is not a good one, but I have to like recognize that of like, okay, you're not going to be the winner right now. Like, you're not going to be the best right now. But if you ever want to be the best, then you have to play the game, and you have to learn and, soak in what other people are teaching you at this time, but that it's really normal, and that other people should, and this is, maybe just a reflection of your team and the support that you have on your team. Like, other people should know and expect that your competency is low at this time. And 100%. They should be working to train you to grow that, right? And if they're not, if it's unsupportive feedback, then that's something to talk about and discuss, and maybe look into the S curve to even share with them of like, hey, this is where I'm at, and this is what I need to get into, a more competent and confident space in my role. But that doesn't happen when people are, having expectations of me that are completely unrealistic, right? So back to the beginning of like, we need attainable goals here. So like, do you have attainable, realistic goals set by your manager, set by your team in this very deep learning phase that you're in? And if so, great. Just know that it can be uncomfortable not to be the best at things, but everyone kind of expects for you to need some help and to need some support in the beginning. So just take the feedback and move forward. I think that it sounds like you're beating yourself up way more than anyone else
100%.
is.
Yeah.
But that's really to be expected at the beginning of a new role or a new job or a new company. And you'll continue to be, and that's the thing, like you're in your third one right now in the past few months. Like, you have to stick with something to get beyond it. Otherwise, you're just going to keep ending up in that same pattern, because you're always, when you go to a new company, you're going to be at the bottom of that learning curve, right? So even if you're super familiar with your expertise or the type of role that it's going to be, you're new to the organization, you're new to the team. So there's going to be a ton of differences that still put you at the bottom of that learning curve. And so I would recommend like sticking it out, really taking the feedback, learning as much as you can so that you can quickly get out of that bottom of the S curve phase as quickly as possible and move into your sweet spot, which will feel much better and much more comfortable for you.
Yeah.
But the only way out of that is through it, Yeah,
there's no shortcuts. There's no there's no shortcuts. Yeah. I mean, you can shorten the time it takes by putting your head down and, being really honest and transparent. Like, there's nothing wrong with going to your leadership to be like, I struggle with recovery after mistakes. And so I just want to be honest with you that like, I do everything I can. And then when I do make a mistake, like I struggle to bounce back from that. So I would love some extra support or just a heads up that, so like this is hard for me to recover from these things. If you're comfortable with your leadership anyway. Yeah.
All right. Last story for the day. How long can a person last? I have been working a job for a little over a year. The office is so toxic. I have been yelled at, called inappropriate names, called a snob. Since day one, I have gone there to do a job. It seems that everyone wants to work the way they want and not follow protocol. I connect with the supervisor for pressing issues and most of the time to cover my own ass. Always willing to help others, although I feel that others are either trying to get me in trouble and or get me to go against the protocol. Sometimes I discuss with my manager over the phone for better understanding, and I get the feeling that it's being used against me. I'm always on the edge feeling that I can't trust anyone. How long can a person actually last in a job having all this drama involved, knowing everyone hates them? I can go to my job and try my best to ignore them and just do my work, but how long can a person last until you're completely burnt out and broken down.
I couldn't last very long, personally.
Yeah, I think it's totally case by case, right?
Yeah.
I think it's like some people last longer than others. I think some people emotionally are able to withstand,
Yeah.
and then some people aren't. And so it's like, I think you really have to ask yourself, how much is this negatively impacting you? Is it worth it? And
Yeah.
what are your alternatives? You know, like, can you start job hunting? Can you start trying to get out of there? Because I don't think this is a long-term plan, you know?
Yeah, some people I know can stick it out if it's like a very specific stepping stone they need to the next part of their career. You know, like I have to put my time in, and I know that there is light at the end of this tunnel. I think that I could probably stick out a little bit longer if I had a really good support system at home. You know, if I was able to leave work and be surrounded by the people who really filled my cup. But if I didn't have a support at home too, like I wouldn't be able to stick it out, honestly, because life is way too short to be miserable, to stay stuck if you don't have to, you know?
Yeah, if you don't have to, right? So it's like thinking about your financial, you know, plans and like what you need to do to get out of there. Or to Emily's point, like if this is a stepping stone and you know that like, okay, I got 6 months until my next role, or until I can
Qualify,
you know, transfer to this or move there, or I need this to move to another job, then that feels more attainable, sustainable, versus just like, this is going to be your job for the foreseeable future. And the situation that you're in, like, I don't know, maybe you could find something better or different. And then to that point, like, sometimes the devil you know is better than the devil you don't know. And so that might also be what you're going through in your head of like, because I've had some friends who like stay at toxic workplaces because they either don't have the capacity to start applying for other jobs, just from like a life standpoint, like it's just too much. And so they just like power through.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it also means that you need to have other things going on in your life that bring you some joy, so that you're just like able to almost like dissociate a little bit and like just go to work, do the work, and then go home. Like ignore everyone as much as possible. Like let it roll off your back. Like literally just do your job and do what they want you to do, like robotic, right? Like and then don't let it bother you. But I think it just depends on your own capacity for being able to look for something else, or like what your life looks like. And I don't want to say that it's so easy to like just go work somewhere else. Like that's not always an option, you know? But I think if you're in this like very negative space, then that could be one of your options. Your other options are tough it out and try to ignore as much as possible. Go to HR, you know? It sounds like you have, and that's still not helping. So
I know.
Yikes.
I mean, I think it really depends on like how much you're able to compartmentalize this, you know?
Yeah.
And if you're unable to, then you need to get out, because it will leach into every aspect of your life. And life is too short to let some people you don't care about like suck your joy out of your life, you know?
Yeah, some see you next Tuesday at work that just their joy is making you miserable. Like, no, thank you.
No. I would love to say that like nothing is worth that, but of course, like, you know, in this economy, we got to pay our bills. So
yeah, it's like the reality. Like people got to put food on the table and pay for their rent, and like, I get it.
Live in small towns that don't have a lot of opportunity. Like I get that. So what can we do? You know, I highly recommend just writing into us and complaining about them anonymously, and we'll talk about it then, and then you can be validated every week.
And send us some updates. You can go to dearworkwives.com to submit a story or a question if you need some advice. You can also go there and submit updates. Just put in update in the subject line, and then we'll know that it's an update from a previous story. And follow us on wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Yeah.
We really appreciate that. Share us with a friend, and we'll see you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.